for 45 years and with 30 million fans who've shown up for 100 million albums is an honest relationship between bands.
Gene Simmons has never been just another rock star. He's been a phenomenon. The fire-breathing, tongue-flicking frontman of Kiss turned shock, sound, and spectacle into an empire. But behind the demon makeup and the larger-than-life persona lies one of the most complicated stories in rock history. One built on survival, ambition, and a hunger for greatness that never stopped burning. Born as Chaim Witz in Israel in 1949, Gene's early life was defined by struggle. His mother was a Holocaust survivor who rebuilt her life from nothing, and his father worked as a carpenter trying to hold their small family together. When his parents separated, Gene and his mother left for New York City with almost no money, just the hope of a better life. Gene often said they were dirt poor, living on rationed bread and milk. But even as a kid selling fruit on the street, he dreamed of something bigger, something louder. That dream exploded the night he saw the Beatles on television. In that moment, he knew he wanted to own a stage, to command it the way they did. He worked small jobs, as a teacher, an assistant at Vogue, anything to survive. But music was his real calling. He practiced for hours, formed bands that came and went, and eventually teamed up with Paul Stanley, Peter Criss, and Ace Frehley to create a band that would change rock forever. Kiss. Their rise was as dramatic as their look. Painted faces, wild costumes, fire and blood. Kiss turned every concert into pure theater. They weren't just playing music. They were creating a show the world had never seen before. Simmons, with his demon persona, became the face of the band and a symbol of power and provocation. From barely earning $50 a night, Kiss soared to selling over 100 million records worldwide. But Gene's story has never been about music alone. He built a business empire around his image. Action figures, comic books, TV shows, and even condoms with his face on them. To him, everything was marketable, and no idea was too crazy to try. But that same fearless attitude made him one of the most controversial figures in rock. Gene Simmons never held back, and sometimes that came with a price. Over the years, he's made statements that sparked outrage, mocking mental health issues, insulting other artists, and making remarks many called offensive. He once tried to trademark the devil horns hand gesture, claiming he invented it, until fans reminded him John Lennon and others had used it decades earlier. Even his own bandmates and family have called him out for his ego and unfiltered opinions. Yet, no matter the backlash, Gene never apologized for being himself. In his words, he was telling the truth that others were too afraid to say. Still, behind that ego is a story of grit. The boy who escaped poverty, who watched his mother survive unimaginable horror, and who turned his pain into power. That's the real Gene Simmons. Every controversy, every headline, every wild quote has kept him exactly where he wants to be, in the spotlight. Some call him a rock legend, others call him a marketing genius, and many call him a walking controversy. But one thing's certain. After decades of fire, fame, and fury, Gene Simmons has never backed down from being the loudest man in the room. So what do you think? Has Gene Simmons finally gone too far? Or is he just the last true rock rebel left? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. And before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more incredible untold stories from the wild side of Hollywood and music legends. This is The Backstage Eyes, where the truth behind the spotlight always shines through.